Our next guest currently serves as the president of the Colorado Theater Guild and is co-founder and director of Equinox Theater. So please welcome Deb Flamberg.
We've just begun. Think we're gonna have a son.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Equinox first. You're just coming off of Thrill Me.
Yes.
And you're heading to Disaster.
Yes.
Talk about Disaster.
Disaster the musical. It's so much fun. It's a spoof of all those great 70s disaster movies.
Yeah.
And we're known for our spoofs and our cult and camp at Equinox. So we're very excited to have the regional premiere. Mm-hmm. All the music is 70s covers. It's incredibly fun, all that great rock music.
Yep.
And it's insane because we're trying to figure out how to do all sorts of crazy disasters on stage.
Exactly.
So there's all sorts of, earthquakes and boat sinking and shark attacks and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So
what's that like trying to do it in the bug space? Because it's a little bit smaller, more intimate space.
It is.
You don't have the full technical scope there. So what are some of those things you're trying out?
Sure. So we are, I don't want to give too much away yet.
Yeah.
But we are obviously having to scale down a little bit. Because, the bug is a lot smaller than a Broadway stage. But we're trying to just figure out what we can do in the way of things like puppets and maybe a little projection and different things and some stage tricks.
Exactly.
As we figure out all the different tricks and things.
Well, I think the biggest disaster would just be putting me on the stage. So if you need that, just let me know. I'll hop up there.
Perfect. Come in.
And I'll just be me, and it will all fall apart.
Perfect.
Yeah. So talk about your theater. The Equinox does more cult classic shows. Not the big musicals, kind of the lesser known stuff. So why choose that in the first place?
Well, when Colin Roy Ball, my partner, and I founded Equinox, we really wanted to go after that younger audience.
Yeah.
We realized that, there's that old saying that the audience for theater is, blue hairs are dead.
Yep.
And we really wanted to show that that's not the case. That's not true. There's a lot of amazing stuff that's out there for people of all ages.
Yeah.
And so we started really looking for shows that would draw that younger crowd.
Yeah.
One of the first big hits, pun intended, that we had was Reefer Madness.
Okay.
And so that was one of the very first shows that we had. It was a huge hit for us. And it really showed what our audiences wanted.
Yeah.
And then we went into shows like Evil Dead and Silence and Little Shop, which fits into that too, and all of these great cult shows.
Yeah.
And because the bug has been around for so many years, the audience there just gravitated to it, and they were very excited to see this kind of work being done in the space they love so much.
Exactly. So the bug is on the Navajo Arts District in that area, and that area is changing.
It is.
Pretty rapidly. So talk about some of those changes. How is that impacting you and kind of the future going forward?
It's a great question. So the Navajo Street Arts District, it's one of the smallest arts districts you've ever seen. It's one little adorable block.
Yeah.
There was an amazing Italian restaurant which closed last year. It was actually the oldest Italian restaurant in Denver. Patsy's Inn closed. 3 of our 4 art galleries have moved. And it's just because that neighborhood is rapidly changing. There's so much gentrification and property rates going up and just rapid change. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's making it hard. Right now, the block is pretty quiet. And that's because, there's no restaurant there.
Yeah.
There's no galleries there. There's just us.
Yeah.
And one gallery and a great little jewelry class company. So I know it's going to change. There's a new restaurant going in, which I know will help liven up that block.
Good.
It's got a few months to wait still. But it's going to change, and we're going to be there to help revitalize it.
Yeah.
And we've been in that neighborhood for 8 years, and I love it. It's old little Italy. It's full of amazing character and these families that have been there for generations and generations.
Yeah.
And it's my home, and I know that we can find a way to revitalize it and keep the arts thriving on that little block.
Yeah, exactly. And what can patrons do to help the Equinox Theater stay on that block?
I'm glad you asked. We are currently running a fundraising campaign. So please visit our website, equinoxtheaterdenver.com, and just click on support us. Any dollar helps, $5, $10, $500, we'll take $1 million. Whatever you can do to help, because it all adds up. And right now we're in a situation where it's threatening our future.
Okay.
We're not gone, we're not going anywhere, but we've got to figure this out now so we don't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
well, that's a good way to
So,
put it.
yeah.
And you also, I mean, on top of doing all the Equinox stuff, you
Yeah.
serve as the Colorado Theater Guild president.
I do.
Yep, and that's so started in January,
Yeah.
correct? So talk about what's it been like from January to now for you.
It's been a little chaotic.
Yeah?
I've been on the Theater Guild for about 5 years.
Okay.
I was serving as vice president. And then in January, our former president stepped down to focus on some other things. So I took over, and it's been a little crazy figuring out, where we need to improve and what we need to do to grow.
Yeah.
Our general manager just retired, so we're figuring that out. We're hiring, and I'm in the midst of going through, I think, a pile of 40 resumes right now
Wow.
to replace that position, and we have a lot planned.
Yeah.
The Theater Guild really wants to be what this community deserves.
I think so.
And we are a very active group of volunteers
Yeah,
working
I would
for
agree.
that.
We're running out of time, but one last question. As the president of the Theater Guild, if you could see it do one thing, what would it be?
Unite the community.
Unite the community.
That's what I want more than anything,
Yeah.
is that we are all spread out all
Yeah.
over the state, and anything we can do to show that we're all rowing the same boat, and there's no us versus them. We're all in this together,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to do.
I think that's a great way to put it. Well, perfect. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming on.
you.
Yeah.